Hey there, everyone. Dr. Beth Westy here. I wanted to pop on and talk about products that are marketed to women, specifically because I've had some questions on this recently, and it just makes me so irritated. So I might start sweating. I may go on a rant. This is your fair warning. But when we're looking at products, any type of, I'm going to talk specifically about a protein shake because that's what people send me, right? So again, total invitation. I'll put a link below this video like I always do. If you have questions on anything, go ahead and, sign up for a call with me. I'm more than happy to chat with you. Hi, Sheila. And just kind of help you navigate some of these things that are really tough because there's so much information out there. Hi, Katie. And it can be really overwhelming. Hi, Stephanie. So many of my friends are popping on. This is so great because I am going to start pretty soon. So recently I've had a few gals just send me some of shakes, some things. I'm like, hey, can I, what, sweetheart?
Is,
of course.
Can I get a,
of course, kids. Sweetie, I'm doing a video. No.
Zen keeps trying to steal my stuff.
Okay, I know he tries to, okay, I'll be up in just a minute, okay?
I need a safe.
Right? It's just, this is life. This is real life, right? Hi, Sean. All right. So I've had women send me pictures of shakes. I have them send me like pictures of nutrition information because they're wondering, is this good? When is this good for me? My hormones. If you hear that elephant noise, also that's because the kids are running around like thump, thump, thump. Sorry. Anyway, and the thing about all this is that women are targeted, right? You've heard the phrase, pink it and shrink it, and they charge more for it. And razors, right? This is not, I'm going to talk about shakes, but this is true for so many women's products, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to make this product for women, and I'm going to, just make it pink colored so it looks like it's for girls, but we're going to really charge more for it, and it's not going to be as high quality, everything else, right? I'm doing that with my shoes right now, by the way. I'll let you know the results of it. I'm going to start buying only men's shoes because my shoes keep breaking down really quickly, and I'm like, this is weird. Because I wear like 3 or 4 different pairs of shoes for different things throughout the day. I'm like, I'm not really like wearing the same pair of shoes all day, every day. It's just, I don't know. Katie, that's so funny. All right, so if you're wondering, if this is one of your first times catching one of my videos, I do have a book called The Female Fat Solution. It's on Amazon. It talks about nutrition that matches your hormones and your cycle. So if you're wondering how to work with your body, just whole foods that you can pick and choose and how that works and everything else. And then I do talk about, I call it The Female Fat Solution because I do talk about different fat burning techniques that you can use during like estrogen phase versus progesterone phase. Kids, oh my God, I don't know what they're doing. Hey, can you guys, I'm doing a video. Can you stop? Can you just not? Zelia, she's like pow pow, like kicking. I know she's like kicking. I don't know. Anyway. So this is like real, right? Like there's a lot of helpful info in here, but also I'm like a real person. Like I have 3 kids. They're 12, 10, and 8, and they're just running amok right now upstairs. They were fine, by the way, before I did this video. I want it to be clear. They were all sitting, reading for like an hour, quietly, right? So I was like, I'm going to pop down and do a video because I kept getting these messages about it. And I was like, I'm just going to do this. Those of you who are moms, you know what I mean. Okay. So tons of good information in this. It's on Amazon. I do have a podcast, The Female Health Solution. Where's Spot? He's tuckered out from a run earlier, so he's probably sleeping right now. So my podcast, The Female Health Solution, is, I cover a lot of different information. I interview other experts in the women's health arena. So there's a lot of different variety there. I also have a 12-week program where it's meal plan, grocery list, everything else. And the benefit of this 12-week program and why I love it is I get to educate women on more about their bodies, how they work, different, deeper nutrition tactics to work with your body. And we go through stuff like this in detail to make sure that you know what you're doing is going to be beneficial. You're going to get energy from it. You're not going to be stuck and frustrated anymore. You're not going to be trying things and feel like, ugh, I'm diving into this, or I'm working out now twice a day, and you're like, I should work out more. No, it's not getting another hour of workout in. It's the other, they say like 23 hours of the day, right? That's the other part of the day, that what you're doing with your nutrition to match your body, right? And how that's working and how mechanically things are happening, chemically things are happening, all that stuff. So kids, they're like slamming doors. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but it's like, I'm not kidding. They were quiet. So good. So good. Anyway, all right, so let's dive in. So this was an example of a shake that somebody sent to me. And oh, you can't hear them? Oh, good. So it's just on my end. It's like, it sounds like the house might fall down any moment. So if it does, I apologize, and I'll finish the video later if my house crashes down from my kids. Okay, so from shake 1 and shake 2. So there's differences in this. And here's the thing too. If you're looking at this right away and you right away look at the calories and you're like, oh, 80 calories, that's better. That's better because it's less calories. That should be a warning sign to you that you're looking at the wrong thing. That you're looking at just calories that is going to deplete your body overall versus 240 calories. Ooh, that seems like a lot. That's too much. Whereas I would wager and say, you know what? It's not about calories, it's about nutrients. So I just did a video last night about, calories versus nutrients. And again, this is something that so many women are, I feel like, trained on. Like, I want to use the word brainwashed, right? You're brainwashed on counting calories and that being the thing that matters. And everything, all these apps and things like that, your Fitbit, your everything, it tracks burning calories versus the calories you're eating and all that stuff. And it's so variable, right? It's really different. Plus, the other thing too for women, when they're looking at like, oh, this measures my body fat percentage when I step on the scale. It's like, does it really? Because your boobs are, body fat. And those are, they're not going to go anywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, ugh, these things aren't like really designed for the female body, how it's shaped, how it functions, and how it changes throughout the month. It's very, very different because what you need, the week before your period is very different from what you need the week after your period, right? It's completely different. Your body's doing completely different things. So if you're not acknowledging that, if you're not working with that, this is why you might not feel good, have a hard time recovering from workouts, everything else. And speaking of workouts, I'm in the middle of my 3rd book, Nutrition for Female Athletes. And it's just amazing the information that women are given for training. Like, oh, just train harder. Well, you can't because you're going to deplete your body more, especially if you're using something like this, right? Not to recover. Yeah, macros is where it's at, baby. Yeah. So if you're looking at the calories and you're thinking this is better because it's less calories, that should be a trigger to you that something's off there, right? Fat. So in this shake here, there's 0 fat versus something here. Now, this is what I would call an overall balanced macro shake, right? So there's no fat here and there's some fat here. That's 5 grams. That's a good percentage, right? So 0 grams of fat, really? Really? Women need fat. You need fat in your body. Your brain tissue needs fat. Your hormones, your endocrine system, all of your hormones. This is estrogen, progesterone, your thyroid, all these things. They need fat. If you're not eating fat, you're doing it wrong. If you're missing any of these things, you're doing it wrong, right? But to have that and for them to be like, oh, this is it. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I said this specifically. This is a shake that's designed for women. That's what this shake was marketed for. This is what got me pissed, where I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. This is the shake made for women, the first shake for women. I was like, this is crap. This is crap. What, because we're supposed to eat less? No. No. And there's no fat in it? No. So, and again, oh, but the label is pink and all of these things, and it like touts that, it's the first shake for women and all these things. I was like, what about it is for women? So I looked at the label, and that was somebody was saying, oh, what about this shake for women? And so I was looking at it. I was like, what about this is for women other than you're cutting calories even more, right? No, I mean, both of these shakes also, by the way, are grass-fed whey, right? Both of them are grass-fed whey. But overall, overall nutrition panel is very different. So no fat here, 5 grams of fat here. Great. Yes. How rude. Marketing hogwash. Yes, it is marketing hogwash. This is the thing where I'm like, stop making things tinier, pink colored, and charging more for it. Like there were, I'm sorry, Joanne. I get Like it makes, like I'm going to start sweating now because it makes me so irritated that they'll be like, oh, these pens are for women because they're pink colored and whatever. Well, I don't like pink, okay? That's stupid. And just, you want to charge like $1.50 more because it's for girls? Like, give me a friggin' break. Good Lord. Anyway, carb amount here too. When we're looking at carbs, this is less than 1 gram of carb, and they're like bragging about it. Like, that's so good. And then this one's 24 grams of carb, and 11 of that is sugar. So the other part is fiber, right? So 24, 11 of that is just sugar, and then there's fiber. So the important part about carb, one, carb, you need carb for energy. You do. Your brain runs off of carbohydrate. If you're feeling like really sluggish, low, you know, something like you're not feeling with it, you're like, ugh, I'm feeling a little crabby, you might be just low on carb. That was me yesterday, actually. So I started lifting again really heavy, and I did an intense workout, did the right recovery stuff, all of those things. But again, apparently, because I'm getting back into a heavier training routine now. And so it's been a while since I've really pushed myself that hard. So, you know, your body recovers throughout the day. It's not just after the workout, right? Again, these are things that are going to be in my next book. It's good if you read the first book first, because this will be a lot of the background info, but then the next book, anyway. So your body needs, you know, recovery all day long. So to have that fuel, to have that nutrition the rest of the day too is key to waking up the next day refreshed and not feeling like a pile of hot, steaming garbage because you worked out really hard and didn't recover the rest of the day. For women, it's very different. Your recovery and everything is different throughout the rest of the day. If you're not doing it right, the female body will actually turn into fat storage, into that fat storage mode, not fat burning. It's just our way our bodies are designed. So it was the afternoon, and I was like, ugh. I know I'm on track for my protein numbers for the day, you know, protein pacing. I was like, oh, what is this? And I was like, oh my God, I need a little carb. So I had some apple, you know, and I like to put like peanut butter and stuff on it because that's delicious. But that was it, like a little bit more carb for my recovery. And what do you know? I was like perked right up, and there we go. So carb is very important for energy. The other thing to look at, you know, when we're talking about any type of shake and protein. So I've also done a podcast episode on protein in general, but when you're looking at the overall shake here and you're like, oh, this one's for women, there's a few things of it where I'd be like, this isn't for anybody. And here's why. You need to have carbohydrate to upload protein. You will not upload protein. So 20 grams of protein here and 24 here. Okay, so this is 20. That's a threshold for protein muscle synthesis in the body. You need to have at least 20 grams of protein to start making muscle fibers. So recovery, all these other things, right? Also a key if you're looking at a shake for women, and I've seen this marketed to a lot of women too, where there's like, oh, this is a great shake, and there's like 12 grams of protein per serving. And I'm like, what? 12? Not for a grown person. Not for a grown-up. Nope, kids, fine. Yeah, sure. But not for a grown-up. So 20 grams of protein here, great, 24 here. But if you're not having carb with this, you're not actually getting that 20 grams. Your body can't upload that protein. It's not bioavailable. Your body doesn't recognize it, and it just moves through. So maybe you're getting half of that protein actually. Yep. Yep. Same thing here though. Look at this, 24 grams of total carb, 24 grams of protein. That's an even balance. Your body is going to be able to the bioavailability of this is so much higher. Your body's going to be able to upload that protein and use it. Huge difference. So these are, and the reason I'm like spending so much time on this and diving into this is because this is like every day. I feel like all the time there's new products that are thrown on shelves. You know, you go to the store and all of a sudden it's like, this for women, this for women, this will help you burn more fat. This is the exercise to give you a 6-pack and a flat tummy and blah, blah. I'm like, that's not how, no. Okay, one, women are not supposed to have flat tummies, right? Because you have a uterus. Yes, and once you've been through puberty, it should not be totally flat unless you're like starving yourself. So, you know, keep that in mind, right? You should have like, and to have a 6-pack and things like that. The saying abs are made in the kitchen is so true. It's 80% nutrition. You're not going to do this one little crunches, series, ab exercises and be like, oh, look, there's my 6-pack, blah, blah, blah. No. Yes, it's all about balance. Yes, I love it. I'm I'm starting to sweat now, just so you know. Okay. It's getting real now. So we talk about carbs, carb amount, how that relates to the protein, the availability of the protein. Now, like I said, these shakes are both grass-fed whey protein. Great. This one has complete nutrients. There's protein, fat, and carb in here, while this one is just protein, so you're not uploading that protein. Now, the other thing, especially for women, that you really need to be conscious and aware of is the other ingredients that are in it. Any products that I use, I only use all natural things that use all natural flavors, colors, sweeteners. You know, all natural. The reason is this. If there's artificial ingredients, it will disrupt the microbiome in your intestines, meaning it destroys the natural bacteria. And that bacteria is super helpful for breaking down those nutrients so you can upload it and use them. Bioavailability. It's how the body physiologically works. So literally everything that I talk about for women and in my 12-week program, these are the things I literally teach you how your body works and functions, the different hormones that it goes through, and then how you match your nutrition to get the most out of your results and everything else. That's it, right? So we start with how your physiology works. So if you're consuming something that has artificial colors, artificial sweeteners, everything else, it's going to destroy the microbiome, which means that you're not going to be able to break down and upload the majority of the nutrients that are available. So already there's 20 grams of protein. There's not carb with it, which means that you're not getting that full 20. You just can't. And then this one is also flavored with artificial flavors and sweeteners, which means it destroys some of the bacteria. Now, not only are you not absorbing then that 20, so you're not absorbing that because there's no carb and there's artificial junk in it. Now, what about everything else that you're eating that day too? If you're ingesting artificial stuff that's destroying the bacteria in your intestines, it's not just this meal, it's other things that you're going to eat that day too are going to be impacted, negatively impacted. Yeah, so really important things, really important things to kind of keep track of. What do I think of the term natural flavoring? I know. Okay. So that is one. That's a good question. Natural flavoring. This one can be sneaky and tricky. So you really have to, I'm very picky about brands and about what I put in my body and what I feed my kids, and everything else, because I only want to make sure that I'm getting them, the best. You had big babies. Your middle child was 10 pounds. You never had. Right? Yeah, it's talking about flat bellies. So when we talk about natural flavoring, it depends on the company. If they're disclosing all of their ingredients in there, sometimes they will hide things like fillers in the ingredients. So if you're skimming through and you're looking at that and any type of natural flavor or something like that is grouped together with any other flavor or color at the end, it should be like a tiny bit, then typically, right, I'm saying typically because it can be anything. This is where, if you have questions on if what you're ingesting and taking is working against you, set up a call. I'm more than happy to chat with you about what you're struggling with and what you're using to help you get to your goal. But typically if it's at the end, you're going to be better off because it is part of the colors or flavors, for that product because it's at the end. If it's like the third or fifth, if it's in the top part of the ingredients, if it's like the third ingredient where they're like, oh, it's a natural flavor. Like really, they usually just like sneak soy in and they call it a flavor, which is a filler, right? They use it as a filler then, and they can jack up the protein number on the label and all this other stuff, but really soy is not as bioavailable because the protein molecule is huge, blah, 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 right? But again, something where you're getting something that's not as beneficial for the body. So you really want zero artificial ingredients, but the natural flavors it is tough. And if and if you have companies that independently third-party test their things, you know that they're going to be way safer. And there are some good brands out there. There's about a handful of brands of things that I trust, because I've looked at their independent third-party studies because I'm a weirdo and I do that. But again, looking at something, if it says artificial flavors or sweeteners, put it back. Do not purchase it. Get it out of your Amazon cart, put it back on the shelf, whatever it is. No. Because again, this is not only destroying the availability of the protein you're trying to get at this time, but also the other nutrients that you're going to be getting that day. Yeah, working against yourself. So now the other thing that I want to kind of just touch on briefly here, because I feel like I've been ranting for a while and I'm a little sweaty. When you're looking at, again, overall nutrients, this is the thing that they're marketing and they're trying to tell you this is better. This is the thing that they're trying to tell you is, oh, it's better because it's only 80 calories. Where I'm like, where are you getting nutrients from? Oh, it's better because there's no fat and no carb. Like, that's bad for you. What? No, you need fat. You need carb in your diet. You need regular rounded nutrients, right? And you need a threshold of protein to start muscle repair. And if you have these ingredients in there, then it's going to destroy your microbiome in your gut. So here we go. This is not going to be as bioavailable, so you're not really uploading this protein. Now, the other thing that they talk about with after workouts, oh, have something like this after a workout, or, you know, when you're going to go work out, or for a meal replacement, you're not actually hitting that threshold for protein muscle synthesis, which means your body doesn't have the nutrient available to repair any muscles you tore down during a workout. So what happens is that your body will go into a fat storage mode and it will use that muscle tissue for more energy. So you're trying to bust your butt at the gym, yet you're getting nowhere because you're fueling your body wrong. The other thing to think about too is that when they're using these artificial sweeteners, oftentimes these products are very, very sweet. They're like super sweet, and there's no sugars or carb in it though. So what that does to your taste buds and everything else, and then the way your body is fueled is confusing, right? It's very, very confusing. Okay, sweetie, I'm still doing a video. Okay, can you guys go upstairs and be quiet? This is still happening, by the way. I'll be done in just a minute. Thank you, kiddo. Just giving me a note to tattle on her brother. It's so sweetness on the tongue versus out having the nutrients. So your brain's getting very confused. Your tongue feels like it's very sweet. So certain signals are supposed to happen, like, oh, this is a sugar, but it's not really a sugar. You're not having any of the reaction of actually having carbs or sugars. That's a problem, and that's very confusing. So what happens oftentimes for women when this confusion is going on chemically within your body is this. You will not have the nutrient, your body's depleted, you can't upload this, yet it tastes like you should be getting some type of sugar here, right? So what happens is that you're thinking, I should be full. Your brain's trying to think that you should be full, but you're not. You get depleted, and then you end up binging later that day, binging even in the middle of the night. It's incredible, the difference of your ability to stay on track when you're not fueling correctly. And so when I talk about binging, this is not just, oh my God, there's still, it's a shame that you guys can't hear what's going on because it sounds like elephants are in my house. When you end up binging like this, women will immediately go into shame mode. I screwed up, I did bad, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't stay on track, and you're blaming yourself. And really, this is the part where I'm like, this is not your fault. You're using the wrong stuff. You're not fueling your body. You're not actually doing anything good for your body. You're depleting it. And so it gets to a point where it's like shuts off your willpower and says, no, feed me. I need food or stuff's going to start to really not go well. You know, think about that. Think about the depletion. So if you're finding yourself binging like that because you're just so dang hungry, you know what I mean? It's not your fault. It's you need to fuel correctly. So this is where women really need to get on the right track. And these are all things that I walk women through step by step in my 12-week program. The tough thing about a lot of this too, when I talk about binging and reversing a lot of this stuff and fueling your body, is that there's a big mindset component to this too. And it's a big deal. It's a very big deal to acknowledge this mindset difference, to look at something that has full nutrients in it and say, this is actually what's better for my body. And to actually consume that and feel good, feel energized throughout the day, and then wait for your body to heal and repair, and then get to a point where you can move forward from there. Does that kind of make sense? It's a very, very different type of, process of going through. So these are things that, part of the entire system that I walk through with women in my 12-week program. And my favorite thing about it is that women get so much more energy and they feel so good, you know, especially when starting. It's like my favorite thing. So this is the info I got for you guys. I kind of threw a lot in today. So if you're staying all the way till the end, thank you for watching, because that was a lot. I went on a lot of a rant there. But it's true. I get really sick of companies targeting women, making a shake for women, when really is this the best thing for the female body? No. And there's certain times of the month that you need more calories and you need more nutrient, and this is depleting, completely depleting. So in my opinion, this is not setting women up for success at all. Setting you up for failure, and it's setting you up to feel bad about the progress that you are not making in terms of getting towards your goals. So, yes, so that's the information I've got for you today. Like I said, I'll put a link below if you are, you know, wanting to chat, if you're wondering about any products you're using, if you're wondering about, if you're wondering about any other things that are holding you back. Because again, I totally understand. I totally get it. Like when your hormones are off, when your stress levels are too high, when you're feeling, you know, like you're depleted, then you go to binge mode. That's a big thing you need to switch around in your body in order to make progress. Otherwise, your metabolism is not going to work for you. It's going to work against you. And that's the way the female body is designed. So it's a completely different way of looking at the body and the system. All right. Whew. Sweaty. So, if you found this helpful and you know somebody that could also use this info, I feel free to share this with other women. It's just my mission to give as much information like this to women so that you understand when you're going to the store, hey, I know how to glance at a label now and know that just because it says it's for women doesn't really mean it's for women, right? And to give you more information so that you can make the best decisions for your health and your body and your family going forward. Yes. All right, so that's what I got. Let me know your questions. Otherwise, I will chat with you guys later.